Welcome to the Type 1 Radio Lounge on location, here live from the Eternal Knowledge Festival in a very rainy Suffolk. Very interesting times here. I'm joined here by Reset. Hello, Reset.
Hello, Sonic.
Hello. And hopefully in about 15 minutes we'll be joined by a very interesting chap called Yannick to tell us all about his interesting work. So I arrived here yesterday. It wasn't as rainy as it is today. Managed to get my tent up with a little help from some lovely people, and then wandered around. Yesterday there was talks by Richard Cadpole, I think his name is, and he was talking about Feng Shui, and also to do with that I was actually having some food at the time and putting up my tent, which I thought was more pressing matter. And then after that, there was a guy called David Roll who was talking about the pyramids of Egypt and Horus and the cult of Horus, which is very, very interesting. Hopefully I can track him down and be able to get him on the show. Also last night I bumped into a fellow Friends of Freeman. The Friendship Agenda is alive and well, and it's all over England, and he listens to the show, which is excellent. And then today they started off with Brian Forster talking about the Incas and how maybe we've got the people that are researching that have got it slightly wrong when thinking about the ancient Inca structures, because he's got to take that they sort of built on pre-existing technologies that were there, because they didn't seem to have the knowledge to build in this precise way. What was next? We had Skyped in from America a guy called David Pond talking about dinospheres, which a guy called, I think he's called William Keeley, an American guy in the 1880s, developed this these spheres that basically you speak to them, and if you did it with the right energy, they work. So he had a car that ran on this, and other mechanical devices. But if you didn't have the right frequency and love within you emanating out, it didn't quite work. So I'd quite like to have another look at that on the website. That is, if people want to check that out, I've actually got a little pamphlet here. So the website to go and have a look at that is www.svpwikisite or wiki.com. Also www.svpvril.com, and that's loads of information about dinospheres and sympathetic vibratory physics, which is what this guy John Kelly or Keeley, and he was like a contemporary of like Rudolf Steiner and people like that. So that was a very, very interesting talk. Then we had, so I was joined by our fellow co-host here on the Tap One Radio Lounge, Phi Chick. She joined me this morning, which was excellent, and we went to hear a talk about copper tools and the way that the molecule of the copper and bronze, the bronze, because it's got one tin atom there, and the tin atom creates a stronger bond, and so instead of it makes it a little bit hard, like a harder metal. And she was like a little. I don't know whether my American friends have heard of a guy called Johnny Paul, but he was a guy in the 70s that talked about science for kids, and it was all very, very hands-on. He had lots of good ways to discuss things. So I participated in a demonstration of the iron atom, where we were all lined up in magnetic, sort of in a line to recreate the magnetic force. Then we had a guy called Nick Marchment, who has actually done a workshop about sacred geometry today, and he's got loads of ironworks in the shapes of tetrahedrons and various other 3D shapes that when you spin them, they seem to come alive. And then in the main yurt, which is massive, it's a wicked yurt. It's probably about 60 feet. Probably could hold maybe 150 people. He did a talk about alchemy throughout the ages and where that stemmed from. And that touched a little bit on what David Roll was saying last night about the word, the Egyptian word chem, meaning black, and that's where perhaps we get the word chemistry from, and alchemy. So it's like the black arts. Then I dropped in on a little discussion about horary, which is the study of like horoscopes and things like that, and Biden and un-Biden omens, which is quite interesting. I think I need to read up on that a little bit more to understand it. At the moment, in the main tent, there is some like Elizabethan players that are doing some Shakespeare, and they had a little ensemble doing. They had some interesting instruments. One had like a hurdy-gurdy. The other had sort of a lute type thing, and some pretty cool drums. I can hear them in the background here. So if anyone wants to call in and just hang out here, the number is 646 915 8020. So Reset, why don't you take this opportunity to tell everyone about your little road trip this week?
Yeah, well, I headed down. I'm hearing an echo. Hold on. Anyway, I took off on Tuesday to head down here to Missouri to start helping Carolyn out get the things with the sanctuary going. It's actually the longest I've driven myself, so that was kind of a trip. That's a pun there, but I don't know, got down here and I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but it's at this point kind of just getting the wheels rolling is what needs to be done. I mean, there's not a whole lot. I kind of thought it was going to be more moving stuff around or something like that, but honestly at this point it's more make sure this works fill out this little bit of paperwork. Let's see if we can do this. Da 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 da. I mean, there's lots of little things that need to be done before we can actually start doing anything. It seems.
Excellent. So how long did it take? How long did you drive, and how long did it take you?
Well, it ended up being a, let's see, what was it? About 600, just about 600 miles, and I left it about 10 in the morning. Got down here about 6 at night. So, what's that? About 8 hours? Yeah, something like that. It took about 8 hours, and I needed to get here and off the road before the sun went down, because the trailer I'm driving, one of the lights doesn't stay on when you turn the headlights on, and I'm not 100% sure what the trailer regulations are in Missouri, so I just figured better safe than sorry and get off by sundown.
Can you not just, is it the actual the connection that's wrong, or just the bulb?
No, well, it's got to be something with the wiring. I mean, I've changed out the bulbs, and we had the wiring done in the van not too long ago, last year. And that trailer is pretty old, and the wiring is kind of shot. So I think it's maybe about time that we actually just replace the wiring on the trailer. But I postponed actually getting down this way so many times. There was like 4 or 5 set dates that me and Brandon had when we were going to leave, but something always ended up happening where I had to get postponed, and I was like, Carolyn thought I should maybe take care of it before I headed down this way, but I was like, I'm not postponing it again. I'm just heading down. We can deal with it when I get down there, if need be. I mean, I just don't drive the trailer at night, but
Yeah. But I had on the way here. I was on. There's a big circular road going right round London called the M25, and to get here from Brighton, I had to travel on a portion of that. So I got halfway round, stopped for some lunch, and just as I was on the slip road to go back out, I noticed that the warning light was on and a brake light was out. So I had to reverse back into the service station there and figure out which one it was, because I was on my own. I didn't, if I pressed the pedal, I couldn't see which one it was. So I ended up, it was just a little thing for about half an hour. I was thinking, what's going to happen here?
How far of a drive did you have?
It's only like 160 miles.
Okay.
But because of the roads, I mean, once you're round the M25 and on the A12, it's pretty much that road. It's quite long. It's only like 160 miles.
Okay. Carolyn, I think you have to turn off Blog Talk Radio.
Hello there, Namaste, Swami.
Namaste, everybody.
Namaste, Swami.
Welcome everyone with the greatest love and greatest respect.
How's it hanging, Swami?
Well, that's kind of a personal. All is well.
Hello, Carolyn.
Hey, what's cooking, Nick? Debbie there and Steve, are you at the festival, right?
Yeah, I'm at the festival. Here, I'm just being joined by Yannick now.
Oh, cool.
So, pleased to meet you, Yannick.
Hello. Hi.
So, say hello to the lounge. We have Reset, we have Carolyn, we have Swami here.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Yannick.
Nice to meet
Yannick.
Reset.
Yannick.
Yannick, nice to meet you.
Namaste, Reset. We haven't spoken.
I know. It's been a while.
Hey, and then
I swung to you.
Yeah. It's really windy here.
shout out to Jay and Loretta too. I think they're listening, but I don't think they're on yet.
Okay. So Yannick, can you give us a little bit of background about yourself and the work that you do, the talks that you did here? So let's start off about you? What's your background? How did you come to do what you do?
Yes, why I'm here. I have made a presentation and who I am. I'm from Belgium originally. I grew up in a little farm, and then I did studies about agriculture. Do they see me, or is it just radio?
It's just radio.
Just radio. So I did studies about agriculture, engineering agriculture, but everything I talk about I didn't learn at school. It's all alternative techniques, like how to use natural electricity for plant growth, how to use magnets, how you can increase or even double your yields and plant growth just with natural electricity, magnets, but also with the use of pyramids. With pyramids you can increase, energize seeds, potatoes, and then when you plant them, you see they grow a lot faster, and it increases also food preservation. You can have a longer shelf life of your food, so only with the pyramid. And you can even make electricity with the pyramid. And only a few people knows about that, but a pyramid, it's like an antenna. When you orient it correctly with the Earth's magnetic field, it captures or generates like an electricity, and you can or like a kind of electromagnetic energy that you can transform in electricity.
I've watched the Pyramid Code. Have you seen that? Carmen Bolter's like documentary about how the pyramids of Giza and other ones. She calls it the Valley of Peace, I think she calls it. And they sort of created, what Tesla basically. They were big, like Tesla towers almost, the pyramid towers.
I don't know specifically what you are talking about,
okay.
but I'm new in the field of pyramids.
Okay.
But I began with experiments on plants in my garden, and I saw so huge results, and that's what awakens me to look further, and that's how I discovered that you can also do electricity with it and things like that. There is now, for the moment, there is a German guy or an Austrian guy. He had put on internet some electronic circuits that you can make yourself, and you can put in pyramids and make electricity. And he does a lot of experiments about that. It's all ancient know-how. I think the Greek pyramid was built for different purposes, for different aims, and one of these aims was, I think, also to make electricity. Electricity is not something that we only discovered since 100 years or 200 years. I think it already existed in that time of the pharaohs.
Yeah, it's like it's a force of nature.
Yes, it's a force of nature that you see it with the thunder and things like that.
It's like static fields, isn't it? Like the big storms create the static fields, which harness electromagnetism, and then that's where you get the thunder and the lightning. Yeah. The
thunder at even a cloud. It's really mysterious how it's created a cloud. It looks simple, but the scientists even don't know 100% how it's created. They know a lot of things, but like an example, when you have they know that when cosmic rays from the universe travel through our sky to our atmosphere, if the atmosphere is loaded with water damp gas, then it creates clouds. So there is also an effect of the influence of the cosmic and the cosmic energies, that the waves, the rays, they help to create our clouds here on Earth. It's not just something that happens here on Earth. It's in relation with the cosmic rays. And that's a simple fact that there's not really much known about it. And like pyramid, an example about the huge effects of pyramid. When you just make pyramid with copper rods, very simple, in the same proportions of the Gizeh, of the Cheops pyramid in Egypt, and you plant potato, you make a pyramid like 3 feet high, 3 feet large, around this kind of size shape, and you put it in your garden, and you plant a potato or several potato plants. I know farmers that do that since several years, and until 2 years ago, on each potato plant, he had in a normal field you have like 5 potatoes on each that you yield on each potato plant. 5, it can be even 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if you are very lucky, but it's around 5 normally, middle-sized potatoes. And he, under his pyramid, he yielded like minimum 40 potatoes on one potato plant.
Wow!
And when he and his record until 2 years ago was 80 potatoes on one potato plant under the pyramid. And last year
what sort of size was
the size was the same size as the Cheops pyramid. You can find the size on internet easily.
I mean like
the size of the pyramid was his size is 4 meters large, so it's 12 feet large.
Okay.
I've got a quick question actually.
And I just finished my sentence. And last year he had 137 potatoes on one potato plant. And that was really interesting. And what is interesting too is that last year the sunspot activity was very high. And I think there is a relation of the energy you collect with the pyramid, or you generate with the pyramid, and the sunspot activity, or the sun activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go reset.
I was just curious, what are you constructing the pyramids out of?
I constructed them, you can construct them almost from any material, but my experiments was with copper pyramid. So I make the sides and the edges out of copper.
Yeah, copper.
Yeah, copper rods that you can find in a hardware store, and that you sold together at a wide shape. And the angle of a side with the base is 51 degrees, 51 minutes around. But if it's 52, it's also okay. It works too. But the exact size of the cubes is 51. And you can also, to make it cheaper, you can also make the structure in wood, and then you put a copper wire that follows the wood, the wood edges.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And you had a little sound device, tone.
Yes, I thought also about sounds, because sounds is really a huge field of research. You can do so much things with sounds. You can. We think that in the pyramids was also used as like a resonance chamber for certain rituals or practices, or maybe healing too, because there are you can find in the measurements of the pyramids of the big ones in Egypt, you can find relations to sound frequencies and sound harmonies, and that is very interesting. An example: the size of the pyramid at at ground level is 440 royal cubits of size. A royal cubit is an old length value. And at water level, because in the past you had even the pyramid could be flooded and there was water around the pyramid, and then at water level it was 432 royal cubits. And that's very interesting in relation to music, because now the A of all music instruments is tuned to 440. But in the past, before World War II, a lot of countries had adopted the frequency of 432 and for the A. And that changed a lot, because 432 is a lot more in harmony with the universe. I've calculated the resonance frequencies of water, oxygen, all the elemental, all the important elements for life. And when you calculate the frequency of water with the quantum physics formulas, then you can, and you transpond the frequency, that is very high frequencies of 1,000 hertz, and you transform it in the sound band, then you come again to 432 hertz. So that's very interesting, because it's a resonance frequency of water, and at the same time the size of the side of the pyramid at water level was also 432 royal cubits. So there's no coincidence. I don't believe in hazard. It's that's really a purpose that they made this like this. And you find like this a lot of measurements and a lot of interesting values. And when you listen to music at 432 hertz, or when the musicians tune their instrument at 432, they observe a lot more. They observe a lot more creativity, and also a lot more intuition, and a lot more, and they feel a lot better. They feel a lot less tired after playing music, and that's very logic. It sounds logic in the sense that when you are put in harmony or in tune with the actual frequencies around you of the universe, of nature, then it's normal that you feel a lot more that you feel a lot more tuned, and that you don't, and that you gain energy, that you don't lose energy. And because you are in tune, you are in resonance with everything, so you have a lot more intuition and everything. And it's interesting to know that the fact that all music instruments and of all countries are now at 440 hertz tuned for the A. That's after World War II. Each World War, the German, the extremists, they wanted to put music at 440, and before it was 432. After the First World War, they didn't succeed, but after the Second World War, America and all the countries come together, and they decided to put it at 440. But when you listen to music 440, you become less intuitive, less you are like disconnected to nature. Even if it can sound beautiful or nice, it would, after a while, you would become tired of it, or it would become not so nice.
Do you think that's why maybe the CDs are recorded at 44,000 hertz? Because it's in the same relation to 440, just up the scale.
440. No, that's a technical aspect. That's another. There's no relation to that.
No.
That I don't think so. No,
because you can the bit rate that you record CDs at, you can do it at.
Yes, but that's more.
Well.
Yeah, but that's another subject.
Okay.
If you want, I can make you try to listen to 440 and 432. an example. It's 440 is also what you hear when you pick up the phone.
Yeah.
That's 440 hertz. I would, and why is the micro here? I would try to make you listen to it. You hear it?
So that's 440.
Do you hear it?
Yep.
Is somebody?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I would put 432 a moment. So in 5 seconds I put 432. And you try to listen to the difference, how you feel. That's most important, how you feel. So in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. So now it's 432 hertz. And now look how you feel with 432. And now I would put it again 440 in 10 seconds. Moment. So in 5 seconds I put again 440 and you would feel the difference. 5, 5, 4, 3. You hear?
Yeah.
That's more aggressive for 440. You don't feel right with it.
It sounds really
Weird.
really out of tune now.
All tuned, but that's what we hear every day, but we are so used to it that we found that normal. But that's not normal.
No.
That's completely out of tune of nature of all natural frequencies. Now I get back to 432. We are again in the right shape, because otherwise we become sick. Maybe. So I put again 432 in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Oh yeah.
So now it's a lot more smooth. You
Yeah.
But in the beginning you don't feel that you don't know the difference. But after you know it, it's like you eat. After you know the difference, it's like you one time have taste to a good tomato of the garden, and then you have then to eat a tomato from the supermarket. That's completely different. You don't want a tomato anymore from the supermarket.
I'm gonna use that in my music production.
Ah, that's nice.
Because at the moment I'm using 528.
Yes, that's not good, I think.
No?
I don't believe in 528. I think that's disinformation. That cuts off the people from their intuition. It's made by purpose, I think, those frequencies of 528. And 432, that's really the frequency in resonance with the water you found in the whole universe. You find water molecules. It's the basic of life. And that's the real law frequency, or that's a real frequency that makes everybody becomes better. When I do a conference and I make listen the people to those frequencies, it makes always a very happy effect directly, instantly. Even the people that don't believe in it, it's not about believing it, you feel it.
And what's that app called?
That was just a frequency generator on the iPhone. You can find very easily. An example I would try. It's frequency gen.
Frequency gen, excellent. Right,
Yeah.
so if anybody's got an iPhone or an iPod Touch or an iPad, it's frequency gen. Just get that off the app store.
Hey Yannick, we had a couple of questions. If maybe you had a website or something you'd want to throw our way.
I have some websites, but I have to work on the website to put all that information on it. But if you look on internet, 432 hertz and A432, you would find a lot of information on different sites of people about it. And I invite, if there are musicians in the group or that listen, I invite to contact me. I'm Yannick van Doorne on internet. You can find me through my email or my internet site. And I would like to find musicians and music pieces created in 432, and to distribute them on my internet site, because there are a lot of people asking and that want to listen to music at 432, and me too. I'm not a musician. I just know the information about it, but I'm not personally a musician, and I would like to have CDs of music at 432 to listen in my car.
Well, I can make that happen for you. I'm a musician.
Nice. Thank you. And there's a lot of people that want that, and if we spread word, there would be a lot more people that want that in the whole world. It's just natural. When you listen one time to that, you feel the difference, and you want only that. And if we can produce that and distribute that through internet, it's very easy, and so we can make happy a lot of people.
Excellent. So how long have you been doing this for? How long have you been doing the speaking for?
Now it's since 1998 that I study everything around waves and electromagnetic waves on plant growth, and then accessory also on man and people and other, and free energy and electricity. And it's when I did my studies, I wanted to find alternative solutions, and one time I read a book. The name was Scientific Discoveries Behind Iron Curtain. That was very interesting, from Sheila Ostrander and another co-author. And then I read the book afterwards. It was The Secrets of the Soil from Peter Tompkins and Christopher Bird. That's really an amazing book for all the people that love plants and mysterious about plants and gardening and even agriculture. So the title is The Secrets of the Soil, and you have also the book The Secrets of the Plants. It's really amazing stuff in those books.
So I'm sure they're on Amazon. So all the gardeners out there, go look at those books.
Yeah. And there I have read about the influence of music on plant growth. And then when I made my studies of agricultural engineering, I convinced my professors. It was not easy. They didn't want. They were laughing at me in the beginning, but I convinced my professors to do a thesis, a study on the influence of music on plant growth. And so I did an experiment at the university in Ghent in Belgium, and I had like 30 centimeters at 20% more growth with 6 minutes of certain frequencies.
Wow.
Sound frequency. So I showed like this the power that can have just a few frequencies on plant growth. It's really very, very powerful.
And how long have you been doing the talks for?
The talks and the presentations about all those subjects. It's also since 2001 I began to make conferences. In the beginning, it was more about influence of music on plants, all kind of techniques with music and sound frequencies. And then I discovered more the electromagnetic aspects, and now since 2008, 2009, I do more conferences about the electromagnetic aspects, the influence of electromagnetics, electric waves, electric fields.
Have you come across orgonite at all?
Yes, organize. I know about this. I did some experiments, but that's not something for me. That's not my stuff.
No?
It's not. I don't feel so much good about it. Why? Because of the artificial resin or the in it. I don't like that. But I advise to
Jay, one of my friends here, he was suggesting to people instead of using the resin, use sap. Was that right, Jay? To use sap in organite? Are you there, Jay? Well, yeah.
But I advise to use beeswax.
Beeswax.
Use beeswax. That's really very powerful. That's also a kind of resin. It's a wax, and that has really. I've put one time a quartz crystal in beeswax. In the base, I made like a base in beeswax, and then I put the quartz crystal inside, and I melt the beeswax, and then it become again hard, and that had really a powerful energy. And then I put that outside, and it was very cloudy and almost rainy, and it's like the clouds disappeared from my room with
made a cloud.
It's like a cloud, but it was very little. It was just only like this, like a half a feet, or how do you say?
Yeah.
High.
About
8 inches. More little.
Yeah. 8-10 inches or something like that.
And it was really powerful. You felt it with your hand, the energy of it on the point of the quartz.
So,
like a pyramid.
Maybe you could tell us about the magnets on the beehives.
Yes, beehives. That's also the bees very interesting, because a lot of bees are dying now and disappearing because of a lot of factors. It can be intoxicating with pesticides, but it's also the electromagnetic pollution that we have all around us, and the bees are very sensitive to all that, and all those factors combined together makes them a lot weaker, and they get disoriented or intoxicated, and they die. And now we have discovered, it's not only me, but a lot of beekeepers have discovered that when we put magnets on the beehive, we can reduce the mortality rate of the beehives by more than 50%. I have even testimonials of beekeepers that have no mortality at all this year.
Wow.
And they just have put 2 magnets on their beehives, 2 little magnets. They don't have to be powerful. They don't need to be powerful. Just like those black magnets you have on the fridge, you see.
Oh yeah.
Those little magnets.
So they don't have to be like rare earth magnets.
No rare earth. That's too strong. They don't have to be too strong.
They're really strong.
They're too strong for that application. And you just those black ones, and then another application is also to put a copper wire on the entrance of the beehives. So a copper wire that is a newt, and you scrap the oxides of it, that it's really very copper-like, and then you put that on the entrance, and when the bees got in the beehive and in and out, they would walk over the copper wire, and they would take like this little copper ions inside the beehive, and that would protect the beehive against mites, against the parasites, against
like a little force field.
Against the bacterial disease too, because copper is a natural antibacterial effect. Have a natural.
Yeah, I was you know, the lady that's got the store with the copper implements, like the copper gardening tools.
Yes, that's also interesting.
She was telling me in the old, a few years ago, that the hospitals used to have the door handles and the light switches were all copper, and there was no like superbugs that there is now. You're like MRSA?
Yes, because copper is a natural antibacterial, has a natural antibacterial effect. If you put little copper ions in water, there are even swimming pools that exist that only treat the water with copper ions, and they don't have the smell of chlorine and everything, and it's a natural antibacterial. It works really well, and you have even that's more expensive, but silver ions is also very antibacterial, but that's a lot more expensive. But with copper you have already very good effect, and also in the beehive, and that's no pesticides, no chemicals. It's only natural, and it's not like with pesticides, fertilizers, medication, all those things. That's all things good for the business. It's made that you just get rid of the symptoms, but you stay ill. You you just get rid of the symptoms very temporarily, locally, and each year you have to bury it again. But with the techniques I promote, it's a completely shift in paradigm, and we have to work on that. We have to promote solutions, not just consumables. You see? And we are sick of the consumables. That's finished. That's the old world.
And that's making us sick as well, isn't it?
And that's making us sick, and that's also on purpose. It's the same companies that sell chemical fertilizers, that sells pesticides, that make the people sick, that make the people get cancers, and then they sell medication. That's a problem. It's not normal in a democratic society that it's the same companies. That has to be different companies.
Yeah, well, that's, maybe that questions brings up the question of whether or not we live in a democratic society, doesn't it?
Yeah, democratic. Yeah, maybe. I don't want to make that's a caricature, but I think an example. Belgium have given the example. They didn't have a government for more than 1 year, and Belgium continues to run. So we maybe don't need a government. If they don't do the work, why do we need them? I don't know, but I think everybody has to be his own government, has to take his own responsibility. If we eat food that is not good for our health, it's our responsibility. We just have to choose food that is good for our health, and the same for everything. We vote every day with our credit cards, and that we have to be very aware of. We don't vote just one time each 5 years or something. No, we vote every day with our choices. We do with our credit card. Our what we pay for, it's what we give value to. If we pay for bad stuff, it's that we give value to bad stuff. You see,
it's encouraging them.
Yes, we are even encouraging. It's like you give money to you can give money for good solutions, or good even if it's more expensive, but it's what you give value to. If you like to give value to bad stuff, then you would gain bad stuff. It's just logic. But the politics and our leaders, a lot of our leaders, they try to make us think that we are not responsible, that it's always the fault of other elements, and so they manipulate us like this, and they hold the system like it is like this, because then we are not responsible, you see, and we are responsible.
Well, they treat us like kids, and so they treat us like kids. We're just chattel to them, aren't we? We're
they treat us like kids, and we react like kids.
Yeah.
and we have to treat them like kids, and we have to react as adults. You see.
Yeah.
And when a kid when a kid doesn't do bad things or doesn't listen, every parent has his own strategy how he do.
Definitely. Have we got any questions here? Carolyn?
No, Carolyn dropped off. She's been having issues with Skype lately. I think she maybe had something to say, but let's see if I can try and get her back on.
Okay. Swami? Jay? Any questions? If anybody else wants to ring in, the number is 646-915-0828. Come and join us in the what is the Type 1 Radio Geodesic Dome tonight. Yeah, it's not quite the yurt because at the moment there's some medieval music going on in the yurt, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. So what have you made of the? What's your take on this event? There's so much going on.
I guess it's really fabulous. In the beginning, I was thinking why I'm coming to the middle of England there to walk in the grass between the domes and meeting a lot of crazy people. But now I understand. I have met really fabulous people and fabulous encounters, and I learned so much. There are people from everywhere over the world. There are people even from Peru, from the US, from Belgium, from France. It's really interesting what we and really everybody has things to exchange. And we are. It's really open-minded festival. We exchange. There are no like secrets. We all exchange, and we are all happy to exchange our know-how and we learn a lot. And I think after this festival there would be a before and an after. You see, the world is really changing. You feel that with the energy that there's going on and the enthusiasm and maybe we feel it even more because of the weather, because it's maybe rainy, cold, but when we meet the people, we forget about the weather. It's really there's really something going on, and it warms up from inside. And I've learned like so much about the pyramids, about other speakers that were talking about that.
Yeah, there's been some really quite amazing speakers.
Yeah, really.
Did you see
it's really key speakers that know really what they are talking about in their fields. Really
did you hear this guy, the guy David Pond talking about the
yes,
and that relates quite well to your stuff, doesn't it? What you're talking about with the
yes, also
sympathetic.
It's about resonance frequencies and sympathetic waves.
Sympathetic vibratory physics.
Yeah.
And that's how that's using the voice. So I mean, if we could by listening to 432 hertz, we could tune our voice into that frequency, and then resonate that from ourselves. And maybe that would be a good way to work all these non-mechanical devices.
Yes, that's Dale Pont. He did a conference about John Keely, about sympathetic physics. It's about resonance frequencies. And John Keely is an inventor in the years between 1800 and 1900. At the end of his life, he was contemporary with Tesla, but I think we all know about Tesla and his discoveries. It's really amazing, but I think John Keely, it's really amazing stuff. He was far behind Tesla even, and I think Tesla has inspired himself a lot from Keely. I cannot understand otherwise how he did all his things. But Keely, he made machines and devices that works only on resonance, and he understood things that we only have discovered last decades, and about the quarks, the photons. He already discovered that in his time, in between 1800 and 1900. But the problem in his time is that nobody could understand him. So he made machines that worked, but nobody could make them work. Be only him, you see. And the people he learned.
Born a bit too soon, maybe.
Yeah, see, he was.
Maverick.
Yeah, see, it was like maybe like somebody that invent internet in the times of the steam engine. You see? Yeah, it was way too soon. But about like a wireless phone, I've read one time something about a guy in the beginning of 1900 that has already discovered how to do wireless phones.
Yes, I've seen that, where he puts a thing in the ground.
Yes, in the ground. Yes. And he used the Earth's magnetic field or electromagnetic field.
Wasn't that Tesla?
No, it's somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody else. But there's not only Tesla on the planet. There are a lot of inventors, but then not all the inventors become famous, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, there was another guy. Judy Wood goes on about him. He does the floating balls. You seen that? George.
Yes,
George. Babbitt or
I don't know.
George Piggott.
But I saw something about floating balls. Yes. Yeah.
Have you come across the work of John Hutchison? Yeah.
Ah, yes, John Hutchinson. John Hutchinson, that's the guy. I think he knows also a lot of things I know, but he knows maybe a lot more. But he uses also resonance frequencies to heal the seas and the atmosphere. He sends it out, and he can also do anti-gravity and free energy. It's a really special guy.
Yeah. We're going to be having him on the show at some point.
Oh, that's very nice. He's very special, very strange.
Have you come across the work of Judy Wood?
No, I don't know.
Well, she sort of uses. She's a professor in mechanical engineering, and she uses John Hutchison's technologies as an example of how they could have possibly brought down the Twin Towers with a massive the directed energy weapons. So if you want to check out that, it's
well, I have a friend that has worked for the army and in the high electronics, and he told me, Yannick, what they can do now, that it's really amazing. And he said they can send like an airplane above a building that calculate, like with the radar, all the resonance frequencies of that building, and then there's another airplane coming by, and it sends all the kind of beam, a kind of frequency, and the building explodes. There's no missile.
Yeah, that sounds like 9/11 just right there.
I don't know if it's, but there are really wild things happening. Like on Russia Today, the internet site with news from the Russian viewpoint of the world. It's like CNN, but it's Russia Today. Very interesting site and news. And there was a few days ago they were telling that they have a system. They can detect each molecule of any product on like several meters and meters away. Wow. Like lasers, you see. If you are coming with explosives, so at 100 meters they send you a beam, and they know every molecule you have on you.
That's even worse than those things, the microwave things that you have to go through at the airports now.
Yes. You don't need that anymore. They just send you a beam of laser to you, and they know every molecule you have with you in your bag. Yeah. Every atom. It's really amazing what they can do now. And that's not an example. The astronomers, they look at light years away from here. They see stars and they can tell you, there is this molecule, this atom so much. Why can't they do that just on Earth at a few meters away? Yeah. That's technology.
That probably can. Well, they obviously, the technology that you're talking about there, they can, can't they?
The technology exists, and just we can do so much things. And the energy, if we can have if there are electronicians that are listening and that want to try things, try to make a wireless phone that uses the natural Earth magnetic field that we don't use, that we don't have to buy, we don't have to pay any more Vodafone and all those companies. And I would be one of the first to buy your phone.
Excellent. I saw this picture the other day of a mobile phone being charged by 2 fig leaves.
Fig leaves?
Yeah, like the fig plants.
Yeah.
It's just 2 big leaves stuck on the battery, and it charged the whole thing.
Yes.
How cool is that? So the must be the photosynthesis of the plant is being used to and being transferred to the battery. That's quite interesting.
Wow. But there's energy everywhere. It's just on Earth, or between the ionosphere and the Earth's surface, there is like 300 to 400,000 volts. You imagine how much energy that is. If you each 3 feet above Earth, you have around 100 volts. You have very less amperage, but you have a lot of voltage. Really amazing. And it's just a matter of to make the right technology. And if Tesla could make technology with a degree of developments of electronic materials and parts and pieces of 100 years ago, then we can do now a lot better, because there's so much electronic improvements that normally it has to be a lot more easy to make things and to collect that energy from the Earth and the atmosphere. I did already some experiments. I did inspired from John Hutchinson and others. You can make batteries with crystals, like free energy batteries.
Excellent.
And that's very interesting. It's very easy to make. You can experiment with that. You can use crystals, beeswax or other waxes, and electrodes like copper rods and other rods, and you would see you can make electricity. It's just a matter we have to find how to make how to improve the system to make a little more always. But you can already make enough to light up a bulb.
Excellent. I saw the other day this light, and it had an LED in it, and it was loads of little holes in it, and it just turned, and the act of turning both powered itself to turn and to light the diode. So it was like perpetual light, really, and using sort of a wind, or not wind, but just the motion.
Oh, I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I'll try and find the link to that and post it on the Friends of Freeman.
There's so much. I think now with the world changing, with the crisis they're talking about, that's a crisis for the bankers in London City, but I think. But if you have a garden with vegetables, explain to your salad that it's crisis. For him, it's the same world. But I think in that if electricity would become more expensive, everything becomes more expensive, and that begins to make the people think, and to become more creative. And now time is there that a lot of new stuff would develop itself and would come true. I think I'm very positive for future, and now even it's really an amazing period we live, even if it's difficult for a lot of people because of the economic stress and unemployment, and it's in all the countries almost the same now. But it's not. It's just a period. But we have to do things, even if we don't have much. We can think and we can be creative. Like in Africa, they are very creative in Africa, and they are doing a lot of stuff. And we have to put away all our assumptions, all what we have learned at school. That in most cases we have to think if it's really true, and in most cases it's completely false. There's very less true. If we can just read and calculate, it's enough. All the other stuff, it's the physical laws. The most of it is untrue. It's completely nonsense. It's as true. It's even less true as most of the religious stuff. It's really an example. In the past, they thought the Earth was flat, and you can try to explain to the guy that thought the Earth was flat that the Earth was round, and they killed you. And now they think the Earth is round, and you can try to explain that it's not round, that it may be different, and for other kind of assumptions, and you would see they think they know it all, and we have to be very modest and to be aware that maybe we know only 5% of the reality, of even less. I think even only 1%.
Yeah, I agree with you.
An example. If you take the example of extraterrestrials, why will all the scientists agree there are other beings in the universe? If there are hundreds of millions other kinds of beings and planets in the universe, there are millions that are a lot more evolved than us, that even can travel to our place. And we, at our degree of evolution, we even don't know how to travel to the moon. It's really very difficult. We only succeed one time in the whole human history. So it's really difficult. And there are other extraterrestrials. They can go anywhere where they want, from one star to another. So that can make us think that we really don't know much.
No.
And we are just in the beginning, and that's also very positive news, because that means that we have everything to invent. All what we know today, it's maybe wrong, and we have to look at nature and to see what happens, and to be creative and to learn from it. And the truth is the reality. We don't have to look at the GPS map and think that's the reality. That is only a description of the reality with our today consciousness. But the reality is much more than what we only see or what we only understand of.
Yeah, we only see a very, very small fraction of even the light spectrum, don't we?
Yes, also. Yeah.
And the light spectrum is only a very small percentage of
all the electromagnetic spectrum. We see the reality with the limits because we have a limited perception. Our ears only listen to between 10 hertz and 20,000 hertz if you have very good ears. So everything that is above or below we don't hear. So, and it's also reality that exists. What we see is also only the light spectrum. Everything that is above, below, we don't see. And all the ways of perception we have is only like a few percent of the whole reality of the spectrum, of all the waves that are all around us. And also, we don't see, or we are not intelligent enough for the moment to see all the connections between all the events, all the interrelationships, and that's even a lot more. Each event is a lot more interrelated than we think about, than we even perceive or that we even believe, and it's important that we become aware of that, because we are all interconnected. We are like in a beehive. Each bee it's part of the whole beehive, and the whole beehive acts like one organism.
Yeah.
And we, like humans, we are like one organism all over the whole world. If we make war to another part of that organism, it's like a cancer in our body of our own cells that makes war to other cells of our own. That's not very good for the body.
No.
And
not very good for the planet.
And on the planet it's the same. That's not very good for our planet and for our whole human system, humanity, to make war to another part of humanity. No, we have to work together, and the aim of humanity, of all those different cells or functions, is because we all have something to do, as a group, as a country, as a community, as a village, as neighbors in the street. We have all our aim, our purpose, and we have all to work together in harmony. And if we can work together, we are a lot more powerful, and we would create a lot more. And I think we can solve all the problems of today that seems very problematic, like nuclear waste, nuclear plants, electricity production, depollution of water. We can solve that very quickly. It is just a matter of willing to do it. And it's not about money, because, to an example, to build a pyramid, you just need some copper rods, and you can already neutralize some nuclear waste. There are experiments about that with a lot of success. But what is needed is a complete paradigm shift, a complete shift in our viewpoints of the world of today, of how it works, of our assumptions. We have to see the reality differently, and to be open. And it's also a matter of just believe there's something more, and that what we think it's right, it's maybe completely wrong. So just be open to new things and follow your intuition. I think that's my phrase always. It's to the only truth is what we feel it's truth, and not what corresponds with what we read in books or things like that, or what somebody else thinks. That doesn't matter. It's only what we feel inside that is true, and not just what is nice. That's also manipulated, but it's more what we feel by intuition. And if we follow more our intuition, we would find a lot more quickly the right solutions. It's like you are lost in nature. You have the guy that takes the map and his compass, and as soon as compass falls in the river, he is completely lost, and he kills himself because he is desperate. And then you have the guy that trusts nature and that follows his intuition, and he arrives at home. Excellent. So I thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was excellent.
If you want, I can come back, but now I think. But I feel a lot warmer now. I don't have cold anymore. I'm very enthusiastic about all that stuff. I'm very happy to share that with you, and I hope we can exchange more, and that it's useful for you, and that
well, definitely.
You like.
We definitely invite you back on the lounge when you're just Skyped in from your home.
Okay.
And yeah, it'll be.
Yes, I can talk from home in Alsace region with Skype or with your internet system.
Yeah.
That's it. And I can come back in England. I would like to come back too. A lot of nice people here in England. It's really amazing.
Well,
really nice.
Some of our friends in America are organising an event like this, the Type 1 Roadshow. So we'll put you in touch with them.
Yes.
And maybe I think it's going to be maybe October-ish. So we can get them to talk to you and see if it's possible for you to go over there and do some talk. Or
in America,
or maybe you can just do like Dale did before and just Skype in. And
yeah. I go sometimes to Canada, but US are not so warm with the latest developments there.
I don't think our friends in America are they?
Yes, but they have to do something. I don't know what, but I want to help the most people possible, and I don't think in America I can. If they I don't want to have problems. I don't think that. Yeah, I hope it runs good, but in America, everywhere you have very good people that doing nice things and that are working in the same sense as we do. But there is a lot of work to do there. Maybe more than here. I don't know, but that's a collective. The problems today in the world is really collective. It's on world scale. It's not just in one country. It's really on world scale. We have the same problem when the economic collapse, like it is collapsing now. They would have consequences in the whole world. China here and we don't have to we have to be careful to not follow the manipulations and bad assumptions they try to tell in the propaganda on TV and media about the Chinese are bad for this or for that. No. Or this community or this community. No, we have all our qualities, we have all our bad experiences too, and we have all to learn from each other of the good experience and to improve and to evolve. And I think there's a lot to do, and we are in a good way, and we have to work always for peaceful solutions. And when you look from which countries we can learn the most for peaceful solutions, I think the Asian countries are very good. They don't do much war in the most countries. In the African countries, they have done a lot of war, but in the most cases it was because of the Western countries.
Yeah, they've learned a bad lesson off us.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So basically, you are expounding the the positivity, so we can have sympathetic vibratory frequencies to unify the planet in for the better.
Yeah.
Essence of mankind, really, isn't it?
And
I think maybe these, the economic problem, and they're like triggers.
Yes.
For us to awaken, and more and more people are doing that every day. Yes. The average people in the street are beginning to question certain things, which then lead them on to other subjects. So I think the work that the people are doing, the speakers that are doing here, are adding to that that positive vibration to get people to question their reality tunnels, and to with the food that they're eating, question the pharmaceutical companies.
Like you say, it's all triggers that increase the awakening and the transformation, and that's really true. That's really. I wanted to say something, I forgot, but maybe it come back. But it's really interesting what's happening now.
Any thoughts from you guys about the subjects discussed here? Reset.
No, just kind of been taking it all in, I guess. I don't have any specific comments myself. So I guess, one question was, with the website, you said you do have something in the works website-wise, right? It's just not completely ready yet?
So I have websites, I would put a lot more in the coming weeks on the website. On the website in English, it's electroculture and magnetoculture.com. So electroculture and magnetoculture.com. And then I have also music and plants or musicplants.com. Yes, it's electroculture and magnetoculture. It's all together.
Okay.
.com. And then if you put my name, Yannick van Doorne, you can find different sides of me also in English. I have also a site, freedomservice.ws, as from Suzanne. So Freedom Service.
And do you want to just write your name into the chat there?
My name here.
Yeah.
That's so my first name. So there are people that don't like me too. So when you read bad stuff about me, don't believe all those rumors and things like that. That it's just people that don't like me. And when you do presentations and you do a lot of media, there are always people that like you and people that don't like you, and that's a very good sign.
I don't know if Sonic has mentioned it to you, but the Friendship Agenda is a pretty good site, and you sound like you'd probably fit in pretty well over there.
Yeah. I'll give you the link to the Friendship Agenda.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yes.
A guy called Freeman. He's an American radio show host, and he had the idea of to build a website. It's like Facebook, but for cool people who are all into all this stuff.
That's nice.
And so these free energy groups, these sustainable.
I like all the people that are constructive and positive.
Yeah.
If it's only to denigrate or talking bad about others, that I don't like. But we have to. What I wanted to say, there's a law in the universe that I believe in, and that's the law is everything in what you concentrate or you pay attention to increase. So every subject, everything that you pay attention to increase. So if you pay attention to your invoices that you can't pay, they would increase the problem. But if you pay attention only to your earnings, they would increase. You would find new ways, you would increase. Or you pay attention to love, or you pay attention to friendship, or you pay attention to solutions, it would increase. It's very important not to worry, because worry is paying attention to problems or to work. It's paying attention only. We have every person, me too, everybody has to work on his own mindset, on his own attitude, and on which subjects he pay attention to, and that can change already a whole life. And Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, he told that too. The biggest work is on his own mindset and attitude, and to fight the devils inside us.
Yeah.
And that's one of the devils. It's too much to pay attention to the problems and to what we are frightened for, and we don't have to pay attention to those things. We have to pay attention only to all the positive things. And you would see there's always positive. If it's difficult, if it's sometimes it's rainy, people around us are crying, or it's really difficult to find something positive, just look at a photo or a picture of a flower. Just look at nature or things in nature. That's always perfect. That can, or the magic or the mystery in nature, or even or raindrop, or it can be a lot of things, or cloud, or tree, or the smell, or the sounds of nature, and that's always, there's something beautiful in all those, and that connects you again to the beautiful world and the mysterious world, and that connects you again on the right track. You see, if you feel you are not more on the good track, just look at the beautiful things in life and nature, and you are again on the right track.
Yeah. It puts you in a better state of mind.
Mindset. Yeah. It's automatically. It's like the frequency following response. It's just a natural. We tend always to respond to our environment and the frequencies around us. If we listen to music with a very rapid beat, our heartbeat would tend to follow that. If we listen to calm music, our heartbeat would tend to follow that. And it's the same with everything. So we have to work to follow all the positive things. And there's already so much to do only with all the positive things, that we don't have to work, that we don't have to care about the negative. They would disappear by themselves.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. So thank you very much, all.
Thank you. And well, like I said, we'll be in touch, and we'll get you on the show in a much warmer and drier environment for us both.
Yeah, maybe. And if there's somebody that can come tomorrow, come and join us tomorrow at the Eternal Knowledge Festival.
Yeah, that's the Eternal Knowledge Festival in Thorrington, Suffolk. Take care, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You go and get yourself a nice pint.
I would take a pint.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to join you in a little while. Excellent. That was quite an amazing little presentation there.
Yeah? I think you said you were going to have them be like 15 minutes or something, but...
yeah. And you did like, about an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hey, Nick, I was going to ask, I've thrown you a couple of messages in the chat. The show says there's 2 hours left. You didn't set it to be a 3-hour show today, did you?
I did, but I don't. I thought there was going to be like more people that I could get in.
Gotcha.
But I think all the speakers have actually gone to the main house where it's nice and dry, and they can. I was going to get on a guy called Hugh Newman, who but he's quite busy with the audio and the visuals that here. If they're and I'm gonna get him on the show in a couple of weeks to promote his Megalithomania festival, which is, I think it's the 19th, the weekend of the 19th of May, down in Glastonbury. So he can come on and talk to us about that. But yeah, he's quite busy at the moment, putting out the live stream. At the moment, the festival has been live streamed on Pentos.tv, I think it is. I put the link up on the event page for this show, I think, on the friendshipagenda.com. So tomorrow, if people are, I mean, 9 o'clock in the morning, that's going to be like way early for our American listeners. But Andrew Goff, he's on first tomorrow, talking about the bees. I mean, yes, we had a very good conversation with Andrew last week. So yeah, he was saying to me this morning, I think it was, that he's having to cut short quite a lot of his presentation just because he's only got like 45 minutes to present it. So he's like on, he'll have to do it on speed or something like that. Right.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. I guess I was kind of wondering the festival. How is the area organized? You know, what's the setup like? I know you've seen the videos of the tents, but aside from that, I mean, how are things kind of organized that way?
Well, what you saw there, that's the festival. People are camped on the other side of the field or behind the tent, the geodesic domes. I'm actually broadcasting from a Wi-Fi connection from a van that's next to this dome that I'm in, that's got a satellite on that they're using for the live stream. Thank you, Phil, Darren Dioge's flatmate, for that. The star, because otherwise I was going to have to walk all the way down to the main house and do it from there. So it's a farm that we're on at the moment, which is owned and run by Lucy Wyatt, who was on the show a few weeks ago. She's got an amazing property here with, you know, sheep and all that going on. There's it's quite a big property. The field that we're in is massive. It's the roads coming in are very, very muddy. I'm thinking tomorrow I'm going to try and get out maybe about 5:30 or something like that, just so I can be on the road and get home in good time.
Yeah, I hear that.
But pardon me, there's some great talks tomorrow. Like I think David Roll, he's doing another presentation about Egypt. As I said, Andrew Goff, Nick Marchment, he's doing another presentation on. It's the second part of his sacred geometry thing. I tell you, this place, Fajik was saying today, this is like a Type 1 conference roadshow, and it is. It's exactly what Prater and Freeman and everyone was talking about, and it's suddenly we're here. They're all talking about free energy. They're all talking about sustainable living. It's like nice food place. There's a guy where I had my dinner before. A guy with a horse box which they're living in, and he's got a clay oven, pizza oven on wheels, which he's just making lovely pizzas for everybody. And then there's another little stall called Guy's Kitchen, and that's selling various vegetarian food and things like that. There's non-stop free tea and coffee just in the entrance, which is nice. People come in and have a little cup of tea, it's a cup of coffee. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm getting quite low on my battery life here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So,
that was something we didn't take into account, I guess, huh?
Oh well. Well, like I said, I thought I was going to be doing the show from the main house, but as it were, this was actually easier to do because it's a bit of a trek in the mud and the rain, and the car isn't that far from where I am, so I thought it'd be easier on the laptop to not put it in too much of harm's way walking through a storm in a bag. Has anybody got anything else they want to share? Because if not, then might just wrap this up. Seeing as though Yannick gave us a fairly elaborate take on things.
Yeah.
And I shall report back to the group on tomorrow's events in the show next week when we have Vinny Eastwood will be sharing the lounge with us. He will be calling in from the future. It will be Sunday for him. He just sent me a Skype message before saying I'm still not getting what time zone the show's in. So I just sent him a message saying it's on now.
Well, that worked.
Yeah. Maybe he'll.
I was just gonna say.
You gonna say something?
I was just gonna say I don't know. Swami's the only other one we have on the line right now. So unless Swami has anything on his mind he'd like to vent right now, I guess we could probably just end the show if that would make it easier on your end.
Yeah. And then I can go and get a beer and get warm.
All right. Well, let's let you do that then.
Sonic.
Oh.
Hello, Jay.
No, Swami.
No, it's Swami.
Oh, Swami. Hello, Swami.
Just saying thank you.
Namaste.
For another great job. Namaste. And how wonderful, despite the conditions, is it to be of people who are vibrating higher than most.
It is. It's such a random set of events that's actually brought me here today. I think it was, I'd listened to Andrew Goff on Red Ice, and then the next day we went to hear Thomas Sheridan speak, who we had on the show a few months ago in Brighton, and then from that we saw a flyer for a talk that Andrew Goff and Lucy White were doing. I met Lucy, we got her on the show, she invited me here. How cool is that? That's synchronicity and karmic vision all in one.
There you go. Namaste to everyone.
There you go. Yeah, namaste. So, yeah, reset. I reckon just shut it down, man. Shut it down. And I shall see you all next week. I think just a little plug for Freighter's show tonight. He's got Alan Green on, hasn't he? Maybe. And if Freeman's got a show, listen to that as well. You have 2 streams going. Okay, I'm gonna sign out here. Love you all, and it's great. The festival in the rain.
All right, we'll talk later.